there is a shortage of aircraft around the world. So the likes of Airbus and Boeing are playing catch-up to supply aircraft to countries around the world. Huge growth in countries. Iran, for instance, have just ordered something like 100 new aircraft. You look at China, huge growth in China, huge growth in India, because it's a global business. This is great news for Airbus and Broughton in North Wales. But there's an issue of supply of aircraft. The next one is, this is an interesting one. Again, I've learned this. There's a shortage of pilots. So we've started talking to the universities here in South Wales on pilot training, because there's one university that does train pilots.
So we thought we should investigate. There's a lack of pilots globally. Simon Witts is the founder and chief executive of Aviation Skills Partnership. Hello, Simon. Morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Is Mr. Lewis right? What's happening here?
So the first thing to say is, just to reassure your listeners, is there isn't a safety issue here. So there's no shortage of pilots today in terms of who's flying my aeroplane. Actually, the issue is about the growth of the industry. So the industry is one of the most successful as well as the safest industries in the world. And the UK is a leading position, and particularly Wales, have a large part to play in the aerospace industry. But actually what has happened, a number of factors, decline in the numbers in the military or coming out of the military, perhaps declining information about what aviation is, has led to a bit of an issue now about the number of people coming into the industry. So that's what we set out to solve 3.5 years ago when I set up this organisation.
Right, okay, so you set this up. And is it a well-paid job?
Oh, it's a very well-paid job. Certainly it gets into probably the top echelons of the pay structures as you grow experience and depending on who you fly with. The issue is actually about getting people into the industry in the first place, right the way back to age 8. I think a number of people say that they'll see at an air show or they'll get inspired into aviation at 8, but actually we're not turning that into people who come into the industry for various reasons at the time when they're going to apply at the age of 18.
And how long can the training take?
It can take up to 3 years. It's a pretty intense, as you'd like to know from a safety and rigorous point of view, regulatory point of view. It's a pretty intense training program. But by the age of 20, 21, you can get people flying your aircraft as a co-pilot alongside an experienced captain. So.
And what do you do at the Aviation Skills Partnership? Do you work with universities and do you work with young people who want to become pilots?
So we pull together all the different elements to create the pathways into aviation. So particularly in Wales, we've been working with the University of South Wales now for just over a year, and actually have bought one of the first universities in the country now to validate a new pilot degree that is indeed actually takes people from school, leaving age, right the way through a university degree, but actually integrated entirely into the pilot training. And the University of South Wales have led that work with us as the first university, certainly in Wales, and the second in the UK to do that.
There are so many graduates who are coming out of university. They're sometimes coming out with first-class degrees, and then they're finding it really hard to find any employment, especially in the area in which they want to work. But how easy is it for a prospective pilot to find a job once you're fully trained?
Oh, so a lot of the schemes now actually have a very high success rate of placing people into the actual job if you follow the right scheme. And I think that's part of the issue, is there's a number of competing schemes out there, some that do have a good chance of getting you into the industry and some who might leave you a little bit short of that final goal. So the schemes that we've developed over the years with industry are now about making sure that when people do go into flight training at the age of 18 or slightly older, if that's their choice, they can actually get a BSc honours degree alongside the professional pilot training and actually end up in a job. And of course, with the apprenticeship levy certainly cutting in England in April, there's a big push now to actually create some of those people as apprentices.
And Roger Lewis yesterday talked about the universities in Wales. Are they playing a key role in the industry?
Yeah, University of South Wales is, say, one of the pioneers in this. We've been working with them now for just over a year to actually create this new pilot program alongside a similarly pioneering engineering program. It's all about inspiring people to say, yes, I want to be in aviation. It's a great industry to be in. It's well paid. Actually, we just need more people to know how to get in and actually to be arriving at the starting point, if you like, with the right qualifications, the right experience, and also the right passion.
And do you find that there are young people, that's what they want to do? They say to you, I really want to be a pilot. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Yes, absolutely. People at all ages, say, can be as young as 8 or even earlier. Actually, the difficulty has been in terms of getting the information to them or making sure they're on the right track to succeed in their goal, to achieve their ambition. And that's what we've been working on, particularly over the last 12 months, to make sure that more people know about the routes into aviation.
Yeah, and Simon, just a quick question about Cardiff Airport. Lots of people contacting the radio show yesterday to talk to Roger Lewis. It was good to have him on the programme. Do you think the Cardiff Airport is fulfilling its potential, or do you think more needs to be done?
Well, we've started working with Cardiff Airport. In fact, we met with Roger Lewis recently and his team to see whether we could bring one of our new international aviation academies to Cardiff, because we think the more we can do to inspire people into the industry, the more it all does actually add to the airport's attractiveness. And with our first academy in Norwich Airport, Norwich International Airport, opens in 32 weeks' time. We're going to grow a number of these around the country, and we're very keen to bring one of those to Wales. So we hope to continue those discussions. And I think Cardiff's a very attractive airport. It's obviously a very well-placed airport for Wales. And we'd like to play our part, making sure that people in Wales can achieve a career in aviation.
Simon, good to talk to you. That's Simon Witts, who's the Chief Executive of Aviation Skills Partnership.